Buyers, the goal of an offer is just not to negotiate the lowest price possible. The goal is to give the seller a reason to say yes. This is Jason Valentine with Coldwell Banker High Desert Realty. And lately I've been involved in several negotiations where the buyer came in completely focused on price. And I understand, nobody wants to overpay for a home, and buyers should absolutely protect themselves and make smart financial decisions. But there's a difference between making a strategic offer and negotiating just for the sake of negotiating. In a couple of recent situations, the buyer was looking at a difference of roughly $60 to $70 a month in payment, but the way the offer was structured created a lot of frustration with the seller and really put the entire transaction at risk. And this is where buyers need to step back and look at the bigger picture. When you submit an offer, the seller's not just looking at the purchase price, they're also asking themselves, is this buyer serious? Can this buyer actually close? Are they going to ask for more stuff later? And do I feel confident taking my home off the market for this person? And that means an effective offer needs to do more than just give the seller a number. It needs to create confidence. And price is one part of the offer, but there's other parts of the offer that can make it a lot stronger. A strong pre-approval matters. Lenders who communicate well and can perform really matters. Reasonable timelines, earnest money, clean offers that don't need a bunch of corrections, and understanding the seller's preferred closing date can all make a difference to that seller. And sometimes solving a seller's problem is more valuable than trying to win every last dollar in the negotiation. Maybe the seller needs a quick closing, or maybe the seller needs a little more time to move. Maybe they're worried about repairs on the house, and maybe they simply want to know they're dealing with a buyer who understands the value of the home and is ready to move forward. And that's where strategy really comes in. A good buyer just doesn't ask, what's the lowest number we can offer? A good buyer asks, what does it take to get this seller to take us seriously while still protecting our long-term interests? And that's a much better question, because losing the right home over a small monthly payment can be a very expensive mistake for home buyers. And if you lose the house, you may have to continue renting longer. You might miss the right neighborhood. You might see rates go up. You can see price changes, and you may end up competing against another home, or competing against buyers on another home that may not be as good of a fit. And suddenly that $60 or $70 a month really didn't save you anything. So we look at comparable sales and we study the condition of the home. We evaluate the inspection and appraisal risks, and overall, is it comfortable for your monthly payment? But once we understand the value, we need to build an offer that gives the seller a reason to say yes. The goal is not to beat up the seller. The goal is to win the house on the terms that you can live with, that makes sense to you. And that's why having an agent who can explain your options matters. They may be multiple ways of getting the goal that you want, such as price, timing, concessions, earnest money, repair requests, financing structure. The best offer is not always the cheapest offer. It is the offer that helps you get the home you want without making a decision that you're going to regret later. So if you're thinking about buying, I would encourage you to make a buyer consultation with me. This strategy conversation before you even start writing offers is going to be absolutely beneficial. We're going to look at the market, we're going to look at your payment and comfort level, and we're going to look at how to make sellers who actually want to accept your offer and help you get into the house that you're looking for. This is Jason Valentine with Coldwell Banker High Desert Realty. If you want to make one of those buyer consultations, there is a link up here in the description on this video. Feel free to click it and we can meet at the office, and we'll start setting a strategy for you and your family to win in this market. Don't always make it about the $60 or $70 a month, because you know what? You might be missing out on long-term equity value growth. The opportunity to own your own home, or even just paying a month's rent, is going to be absolutely devastating. So give me a call. The office number is 505-863-4363. My cell phone, 575-496-1068, or just click the link in the description and make an appointment with me, and we'll get you moving in the right direction with a strategy that works for you and your family. Thank you so much.